Welcome to the Lead for Literacy Center's Explore the Elements video series. This series takes a closer look at the elements of the Lead for Literacy Center's framework. The Lead for Literacy framework is a guide to help school and district leaders navigate the process of evaluating, building, implementing, and sustaining evidence-based literacy practices within a multi-tiered system of support in reading. The Lead for Literacy framework includes 5 elements: standards, priorities, and goals, administration, organization, and communication, assessments, instruction and intervention, and professional development and job-embedded collaborative learning. In this Explore the Elements video, we will discuss the importance of administrators maintaining a constant presence in all reading instruction settings. This diagram shows the 5 elements of the Lead for Literacy framework and how they are integrated into a multi-tiered system of support in reading. An effective school-wide reading system that addresses all 5 elements of the framework provides a system for addressing reading failure and reading success from a school-wide perspective. We will focus on the element of administration, organization, and communication in this video, which is situated within a multi-tiered system of support in reading. Specifically, we will look at indicators of success regarding leadership presence. The viewing guide for this Explore the Elements video is available as a PDF file. The guide can be used for taking notes and processing the information included in this Explore the Elements video. Throughout the module, please note the viewing guide icon indicating that the information on the slide will also appear on the viewing guide. Please be sure to have the guide printed and ready before proceeding. Please pause this video as needed to complete the viewing guide. Research shows that school leaders matter when it comes to student achievement. That is, school leaders have the second largest in-school level impact on student learning. The one in-school factor with larger impact on student achievement is teachers, who are guided by school leaders. With this point in mind, think about the following prompt. What can school leaders do to maximize their presence and support to improve outcomes among all students? Because leaders matter in school achievement, this video focuses on the topic of leadership presence. There are several indicators of success for leadership presence. First, leaders maintain a constant presence in all instructional settings. Second, leaders are involved in the collection and analysis of implementation data. Third, leaders ensure that student data and implementation data are regularly reviewed so that this data analysis process becomes a regular school-wide activity for staff. Finally, leaders with presence ensure that implementation data is collected on the delivery of reading instruction in all instructional settings that are related to important student outcomes. Now we will look closer at what it means to have a strong leadership presence. Achievement-minded leaders engage in 3 behaviors to demonstrate leadership presence. First, leaders build their awareness to better understand what is transpiring within the entire school. This means that leaders allocate time in their daily schedule to be in classrooms and around the common areas of the campus, like the cafeteria and the playground. Getting out of the main office may be challenging, but doing so allows leaders to gain insight into the day-to-day experiences of student and staff. Next, leaders have visibility. Educators and students like to see leaders in classrooms and the common areas of the school. Being visible sends the message to students and staff that teaching and learning is of critical importance to the principal of the school. Third, leaders have positive relationships. Regardless of where leaders are in the school, in a classroom, a hallway, the playground, or the office, they are taking the time to interact with educators and students. These interactions are an opportunity to build strong relationships, as all members of the community need to know leaders care about them and that they can trust their leaders. With these 3 leadership behaviors in mind, let's focus now on what effective school leaders attend to when in classrooms. School leaders pay attention to the quality and fidelity of implementation, including the degree to which teachers deliver instructional programs and practices as they were designed to be used, with a high level of quality so that all students are engaged and responding as expected. By focusing on the quality and fidelity of implementation, leaders can better understand the relationship between teacher instruction and student outcomes. Walkthrough tools, such as those shown on this slide, can be used to collect data on the fidelity of implementation. As evident in many walkthrough tools, effective school leaders examine the fidelity of reading instruction, represented here as the reading rope. For example, look to see if teachers focus on word recognition and language comprehension. For example, are teachers building background knowledge, providing vocabulary instruction, and building students' verbal reasoning? Do teachers build students' phonological awareness, decoding skills, spelling skills, and their recognition of sight words? By collecting data in these areas, school leaders can better understand teachers' fidelity of instruction in critical areas of reading. It is also important for leaders to collect data on the degree to which explicit reading instruction is used by teachers. Some hallmarks of explicit instruction include the use of lesson objectives, active student engagement opportunities, pacing appropriate to the needs of the learners, and the use of error corrections and checks for understanding. Because these are hallmarks of explicit instruction, leaders collect data on teachers' use of these instructional strategies. Finally, school leaders look for the intensity of the instruction. Are the most struggling students provided with the most opportunities to respond? Does the lesson have group response opportunities that provide multiple practice opportunities for all students in the group during the lesson? Are errors immediately corrected, and are students given timely feedback on their responses? By collecting data in these areas during walkthroughs, school leaders will be able to better understand how individual students are impacted by a teacher's quality of implementation. It is not enough to just collect data about instruction. Leaders with a strong presence also ensure implementation data and student data are analyzed as a regular school-wide activity. Carving out time for staff to analyze data sends the message that improved student achievement is paramount at the school and that everyone will do what it takes to prioritize this task. The school leader is also actively engaged in the analysis process. To accomplish this task, leaders block off several hours a month for the task of analyzing and using data. Let's revisit the key ideas of this video. Effective literacy leaders demonstrate a strong presence by being aware of what transpires at the school, being visible, and cultivating positive relationships. Effective literacy leaders use walkthrough tools to collect reading implementation data. Finally, effective literacy leaders analyze reading implementation data and student reading achievement data and create a designated time for staff to also participate in the data analysis. Please take some time to respond to the questions shown on this slide, as well as the other prompts included in the viewing guide if you have not already done so. Several research articles and sources on best practices in literacy and leadership inform the content development of this video. References on this list provide a more in-depth look at reading instruction and the importance of leadership presence. Thank you for taking the time to explore this element of the Lead for Literacy framework. We encourage you to watch other videos in this series to learn more about our framework and how it can help strengthen your school's multi-tiered system of support in reading. To find out more about the Lead for Literacy Center, you can visit our website at leadforliteracy.org and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. The Lead for Literacy Center is a collaboration between the University of Oregon's Center on Teaching and Learning and the American Institutes for Research. We are a partnership among literacy experts, education leaders, university researchers, and technical assistance providers, with funding from the United States Department of Education's Office of Special Education Programs. Our mission is to provide technical assistance to elementary school and district leaders that builds their capacity to improve teacher implementation of evidence-based literacy practices for educating students with, or at risk for, literacy-related disabilities. This video was produced under the U.S. Department of Education, Office of Special Education Programs. No official endorsement by the U.S. Department of Education of any product, commodity, service, or enterprise mentioned in this video is intended or should be inferred.